Man, it feels strange to be back out here where I used to live. Yep, it's my old home. Yeah. Would have never dreamed that. After all 22 years on the streets, I never would have dreamed to have a home again. I'm at my old campsite where I used to live. Yeah, I was homeless for 22 years, and this is the last 2 years I lived out here. I never would have imagined, never would have thought that I'd be living in a house.
The story of Open Door is really a collection of many stories of people's lives, challenges, obstacles overcome, and ultimately the movement from crisis to recovery and stability, from the margins to community, and from homelessness to housing. Open Door Church and Community Center support people at every step of their journey. Whether they're in crisis or stability, housing or homelessness, it's a place where anybody can go and feel welcomed and connect with others and connect with resources that benefit them on their journey.
It's like a family here. It's like, I get to see everybody, that's helped me a lot,
I've come to church on Sundays, and Chad, he preaches or has sermons about things that's going on in my life. It seems like he's talking about us. And I'm like, how did you know?
It's such an interactive place, and there's such a big emphasis on rapport, relationship, and community. So any kind of dream or vision is kind of bound to that. As far as community center is concerned, much as anybody, we want people and we want to help people get off the streets.
I think everybody says this, but we have a heart for this to really happen, which is we want to work ourselves out of a job, right? That's the long-term goal, is that everybody in the room has a place to go.
One of the amazing things about where we are today is that on any given night, we're serving more people in our housing programs than we are in homelessness through our other programs. And that is exactly the direction we're trying to go as a community. We are about solving homelessness, not just managing it. We want to help people move out of crisis rather than just survive in it. And so our programs are really geared to help move people along the path to recovery, stability, and housing.
When we meet with sex trafficking victims, we know that they're going to need long-term support. And after the crisis intervention part and counseling part, they need somewhere where they can go. What Open Door provides is an opportunity for them to have a safe place to heal, for them to have long-term support, long-term counseling, learning life skills, and really just the basic things they need to really live a productive life out of the life of sex trafficking and get onto the long road of recovery, because recovery is a long road.
They don't have this anywhere. This is not an opportunity that's like offered in every city, in every state. That's not how it works. They say that 1 out of 100 people who've been trafficked will get freedom. I am 1 of 100 who got freedom. And without Open Door, I don't think I'd still be free.
We've seen over 70 people come through our program and over 40 children at this point, which is an amazing thing to think about, those people having housing of their own now, being able to kind of give back in the community.
This is my first time in my life at 52 that I'm able to maintain a full-time job. I pay my bills, I have a cat, I have friends, I'm a whole new person.
One of our big goals in survivor housing is to help people move out of the crisis of trafficking into their own home and permanent housing. We're really excited to have an additional component of survivor housing now called rapid rehousing that helps people move from transitional housing or wherever they are in crisis into permanent housing of their own.
I think the obvious differences that I've seen personally over the last 2 or 3 years while working with Open Door on the survivor housing, again, is that availability of housing that we've been able to provide, that other landlords have been able to provide, where that wasn't the availability several years back, 30, 40, 50, they've brought in numbers of so many clients that are coming out of homelessness, that are getting jobs, that are now able to have homes. We've been so fortunate to be able to be a part of that ministry and have seen that impact.
When you really look around and see what's happening in the community and what is happening, in particular in downtown, I think permanent supportive housing in the last 4 or 5 years has had a huge impact on people who are chronically homeless. People like me who've lived in Lubbock for a long time. Sometimes you even recognize, some faces, and knowing that some of those folks are now housed is just a huge win for the community, and I know that has been directly impacted by Open Door.
Supportive housing helps move people from chronic homelessness to permanent housing with wraparound supportive services.
If you think of like Maslow's hierarchy of needs and you think, what are the main things that people need? Food, water, shelter before they can start working their way up.
When you put resources like mental and physical health care, education, employment together with housing, they all just work so much better.
So the fact that Open Door is able to provide housing for people that meet hospice requirements but might not have the opportunity to have a place to live allows us to come in and do our job and partner with Open Door to take care of these patients. Housing is huge. I've seen it go both ways, but if a patient does not have a house, we can't find them, we can't take care of them, we can't provide for them the needs that hospice is good at doing.
Open Door is able to provide the stability in the housing. They're able to provide the mental health management along with the help of our LPDO caseworkers, where when one of these individuals does go to jail, create a transition plan to transition that individual out of custody into the community and have a much better chance of success in the community than they would without the housing and without the mental health management.
The Open Door being able to help support that housing piece along with so many of those other supportive wraparound services, I think it's just invaluable to our community.
The type of ministry that Open Door provides, not only just the housing, but the community that it provides right here in the heart of Lubbock, Texas, I see the impact of that. It's like a ripple effect. When people are coming in from the lives they've been living, whether it's being homeless, not having food, not having clothes, not being taken care of, not being loved, and then you have a place like Open Door right here in the heart of Lubbock that provides all of those things. Truly the ministry of Christ. It's a ripple effect, and you feel that. And I think if you're paying attention, if you're driving down the streets here and your heart is open, you really do see the impact that Open Door is providing in Lubbock, Texas.
This is my home. I've been in housing 6 years now. Now I serve on the board of directors, try to help as much as I can and give back to what they have done for me. And I feel like I can be in the program helping people that need help, like I used to be.
For 25 years, Open Door has been working to see this kind of change in the lives of our neighbors and friends. As we look to the future, our commitment is stronger than ever to make Lubbock and our community a place where every person has a place to live, thrive, and belong.